All right, so get ready, because today we're going to dive deep into a world that you might not think is very interesting. But I promise it's really fascinating.
Okay.
We're talking about interjections.
Right.
You know, those little sounds.
Okay.
Like, huh.
Wow.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And we're looking at this article from Knowable Magazine called, The Valuable Role of Interjections.
You know what's so cool about this is these little sounds like, we don't really think about them very much, but they actually tell us a lot about how we communicate as humans.
Yeah.
And even like how language has evolved over time.
So linguists, they used to think that interjections were basically just noise.
Right.
Yeah.
They would just kind of dismiss them.
Like not important.
Like just meaningless filler words.
But now there's this new perspective coming out.
Right.
So what changed?
Well, researchers like Mark Dingemans, they've started to take a closer look. And it turns out these sounds are way more common than anyone thought.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, Dingemans found that a staggering 1 in every 7 utterances is an interjection.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Say every 12 seconds we're dropping one of these into our conversations.
But why? What's the point if they're not conveying, like real information?
And that's what's so fascinating, right? This isn't just like a quirk of English or something.
Right.
Like Dingemans' research looked at 31 different languages.
Oh, wow.
And the pattern was consistent.
Across the board.
Yeah. So it suggests that these sounds, they aren't just random.
Right.
They're serving a purpose, like a universal purpose in how we communicate.
Okay, so they're not just meaningless filler.
No.
So what are they doing then?
Well, think of them as like the unsung heroes
of
smooth conversation.
Right.
They're kind of working behind the scenes to make sure everyone's on the same page.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
But can you give me an example?
Yeah. So think about
Okay.
Like, it's not just that you didn't hear something.
Right.
It's a way of signaling, hold on, I need a little clarification.
Right.
But without derailing the whole conversation.
Right. Like you're not totally stopping the flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a quick little repair signal.
It is efficient.
Yeah, super efficient. And it's understood almost universally.
I've never thought about it that way before, but
Yeah.
It's true. Everyone uses it.
Yeah. Like Dingemans even suggests that all societies probably converge on this sound.
Yeah.
Because it's just so effective.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, is it like hitting the brakes for a second?
Right.
Are there sounds that keep things moving?
Yeah, absolutely. Think about like those little
yeah.
or uh-huhs that we throw in while someone's talking.
Right.
Like those are continuers.
Okay.
And they basically signal to the speaker, hey, I'm with you, keep going.
So it's not just being polite.
No, it's like you're actually shaping how they tell their story.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they know you're engaged.
Okay, so those little sounds really matter.
They do.
But I mean, those subtle differences, do they actually make a difference?
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
Remember that study where listeners were asked to count the T words?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember reading about that.
Well, someone was telling a story.
Okay.
And because they were so focused on counting,
Yeah.
they couldn't give those natural and feedback.
Okay.
And the result was the storytelling became way less engaging and less structured.
No way.
Yeah.
Just from, missing a few
It's like those little sounds. They're like the glue that holds the conversation together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've got, for hitting the brakes. We've got these continuers for keeping things moving smoothly.
Exactly.
What else?
Well, there's another layer to this.
Okay.
Something called grounding.
Yeah, and it's all about making sure everyone's on the same page, really on the same page.
Okay, tell me more about grounding.
So it's how speakers and listeners figure out what each other knows and expects from the conversation.
Okay.
And interjections like wow or
Yeah.
they can give us clues about that.
Okay, so wow means tell me more.
Right, exactly.
Oh, and she's like, okay, I got it, move on.
Exactly.
But what about and yeah, those can be continuers too, right?
Yeah, you're right. They do.
So is there a way to tell the difference?
You're picking up on the subtleties here.
Yeah.
So imagine you're putting together one of those really complicated
I know exactly what you mean.
IKEA furniture with a friend, and you're hammering away, right?
Right.
And your friend says,
Okay.
That probably means okay, keep going, you're doing it right.
Okay.
But if they just said, yeah,
it
might sound like they're not really paying attention. They're not as engaged.
So it's all about the subtle, intention behind it.
Exactly. It's not just the word itself.
Wow. The versus, That's fascinating.
It is. And these little cues, they're constantly shaping our conversations in ways that we don't even realize.
I know. And I'm realizing now, like, how much we take these little sounds for granted.
We do.
And it seems like we've only just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, we've got a lot more to uncover.
I can't wait to hear more about how these tiny little interjections connect to, like, the bigger picture of language and communication.
Well, stay tuned because we'll be back after a short break to dive even deeper into this fascinating world of interjections.
All right, looking forward to it. Yeah. So I'm still like wrapping my head around how much these interjections are actually doing in our conversations.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's like a whole secret language. We talked about the repair signals,
right?
The continuers, and grounding.
Yeah.
Like, what other secrets are they hiding?
Well, have you ever thought about, like, what it's like to learn a new language?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're trying to sound fluent?
Right.
Like, we often think that interjections mean that you're not fluent.
Oh, like you're struggling to find the words.
Right, exactly.
Like lots of ums and OS.
But actually, using interjections correctly can make you sound more fluent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Dingemans, he points out that native speakers actually use them to enhance fluency. So it's not about avoiding them altogether.
Oh, okay.
It's about understanding how to use them like a native speaker would.
So, like, are you saying that language learners should actually be, like, embracing ums and comes?
In a way, yeah.
That's so counterintuitive.
I know, right? It's like cracking a code.
Yeah.
Once you understand how they're used, you can really unlock a whole other level of communication.
Now, I want to go back and listen to, like, conversations in different languages.
I know, right?
And see if I could pick up on all these nuances.
Yeah, you'll be amazed at what you notice.
So we talked about humans, right? What about AI?
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, can AI master interjections?
Well, developers are definitely trying.
I bet.
Like, they want to make AI sound more human-like.
Right.
But, you know, there's a catch.
I figure.
AI can mimic the sounds of interjections.
Okay.
But it really struggles with the subtle nuances.
Ah. So it can say the words.
Yeah.
But not really understand, like, the meaning behind them.
Exactly. It's like the difference between playing the right notes on a piano and actually playing a piece of music with feeling.
I get it.
AI might get the notes right.
Yeah.
But it lacks that human touch.
It's like that uncanny valley thing.
Exactly.
Where it's almost human, but not quite, and it's a little creepy.
Yeah, and I think that actually highlights something really important about interjections.
What's that?
They're not just about conveying information.
No.
They're also about emotions and social dynamics.
Oh, interesting.
And how we build relationships with each other.
So it's like they give us a window into the speaker's, like, inner world.
Exactly. And that's why some experts, like Lilchko, believe that therapists could actually use interjections as a tool to understand their clients better.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's like a whole new layer of analysis.
So these little sounds, we've been ignoring them all this time.
Right.
And they're actually telling us so much.
Exactly. Language is way more than just the words themselves.
Oh, it really is.
It's about our social interactions and how we connect with each other.
This has been amazing.
I know. It's fascinating, isn't it?
I'm never going to underestimate an or a ever again.
That's the point of these deep dives, right?
Yeah.
To uncover the hidden depths of these seemingly ordinary things.
And interjections are anything but ordinary.
No, they're not.
They're like these tiny little keys that unlock a whole new understanding of how we communicate.
I like that.
And that brings us to something really profound about these little sounds.
Okay.
They don't just facilitate conversation.
Right.
They actually allow language to talk about talking.
Whoa, hold on, say that again.
Language talking about talking.
We're getting meta.
I know, right? So, like, what does that even mean?
Okay, so think about again.
Okay.
It's not just saying, I didn't understand the words.
Okay.
It's saying, I understand that you're trying to communicate with me.
Okay.
But I need a little help to get your message.
So it's acknowledging the effort involved.
Exactly, the intention behind the words.
Yeah.
And that ability to reflect on communication.
Okay.
That's crucial for developing more complex language.
So these little sounds, they're actually the foundation.
In a way, yeah.
For higher level thinking.
Exactly. Dingemans even argues that we wouldn't have complex language without these simple building blocks.
It's like they're the missing link.
Right.
We've been missing them all along.
And they've been shaping our thoughts and conversations.
I know. It's mind-blowing.
It is, isn't it?
Like these humble little sounds, they've been hiding in plain sight.
Right.
This whole deep dive has been incredible.
I know. I love talking about this stuff.
I'm going to be listening to conversations in a whole new way now.
That's great.
I can't believe how much I've learned.
Me too. It's so cool.
Well, thank you for joining us
Of course.
on this deep dive into the world of interjections.
It's been my pleasure.
Until next time, keep listening, keep wondering, and keep diving deep into the world of words and ideas.
Absolutely. There's always more to discover.
So, okay, my brain is like officially fried, but in a good way.
I know, right? It's a lot to take in.
We've talked about so much, like repair signals and even AI trying to like talk like us.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep thinking about that idea of language talking about talking.
Yeah, that's a pretty deep concept, right?
Can we unpack that a little bit more?
Well, think of it this way. Interjections, they let us step outside of the actual topic we're talking about and comment on, like, the communication itself.
So it's like we're having two conversations at once.
Exactly. One about the topic and one about how we're talking about it.
I like that.
And those little sounds, those ums and hus, they're paving the way for more complex thought.
So just by being able to, like, signal when we don't understand or check that we're on the same page,
Right.
we're actually setting the stage for, like, grammar and abstract ideas.
Exactly. It's like we're building a framework for language to evolve.
Wow, so these little sounds we thought were meaningless, they're actually the foundation
In a way.
for all of human language.
That's a pretty powerful idea, right?
This whole deep dive has been a total game changer.
I know. It's pretty amazing stuff.
I'm going to be listening to conversations in a totally different way now.
That's the goal, right? To start noticing those subtle cues.
Yeah, like those moments of grounding or those little repairs.
Exactly. And once you start paying attention,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised at how much you can learn about how people communicate.
It's like we've been given a secret code book.
It is. It is.
I'm ready to decode all the conversations.
That's the spirit.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been my pleasure.
We've gone from
To.
wow.
I know. It's been quite a journey.
And I know I'll never underestimate the power of an or ever again.
And that's what it's all about, uncovering the hidden depths of these everyday things.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep listening, keep wondering, and keep diving deep into the world of words and ideas.
I couldn't have said it better myself.